Hey y'all, Brandon Rinas here. Hope you're doing absolutely amazing. Happy New Year's to you again, and I hope your New Year's is off to a great start. So typically when I do a video, I go after Republicans or I go after Democrats or a different policy, and I kind of talk about the pros or the cons about the different policy. I try to put things into a historical perspective, and I try to always end by pointing out something we can do to fix a problem or to solve a problem. So that way we're not just pointing out all negativity and we can actually work towards a solution. Now this video is going to be very different. First of all, it's going to be talking about how I handled a situation. But more importantly, this video is for Stefan Molyneux. Now Stefan, I recognize I'm a small man on the totem pole. I recognize that the odds of you getting this video are slim. But this video is still for you, and I hope that you end up getting it. Now, I want to start off by talking about Stefan. First of all, if you do not know who Stefan Molyneux is, I highly, highly recommend listening to him. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I think he has probably the best channel on YouTube I have ever come across. I think he's very informative. I believe he's very well researched. He truly cares about facts. He truly cares about putting things into perspective and into context when he's talking about facts. Because a fact in and of itself, if it's not in context, it means nothing. So my respect for Stefan is very, very high. Stefan is a phenomenal debater, and Stefan has a great channel where he has helped, and I am sure even helped sway this election. So for all of those things, Stefan, I truly respect and I truly appreciate your channel. Now I'm going to get into what happened. So about, I'm going to say a week ago roughly, Stefan did a video, and I don't even remember the name of it off the top of my head. I do know it had triggered in it, but long story short, it was an interview he did, or a call-in, that a gentleman called into his show complaining about how he did not respect Donald Trump lies, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. Now, Stefan, he runs a call-in show every so often. I don't know how many days a week, but he allows people to call into his show, and he brags. Stefan, you brag about how people can call in, and if they disagree with you, if they think that what you're doing is wrong or inaccurate or factually false, they get pushed to the front of the line. Now, this is cool. Now, if you didn't do it, that'd be fine too. The reason I have so much respect for you is because you do that. So what ends up happening is this gentleman calls up Stefan, and they start off in the first 30 minutes of the conversation. The gentleman brings up this feely-good argument. I believe his name was Derek, and Derek talks about some feely-good argument about very little factual evidence, and it's just all feelings, and there's no substance to it. And Stefan tears him apart very politely, very, very respectfully, and just points out, Derek, dude, you're going off of, well, I feel this way, I'm not sure, this wasn't exact, and it was an absurd argument. Okay, Stefan, you won, hands down, high five. But things start getting messy. Around the 30-minute mark, you start mocking the caller. You start talking down to him. You start treating him condescendingly. You go, you're talking like this. Okay, first of all, for people like myself, for people that are normal people, hopefully people you're trying to draw to your channel, people who are thinking critically, people who are trying to look for truth, we're not attracted to someone who mocks others. We're trying to build our country up. We're trying to fix things. And yes, some of us have different perspectives, but that doesn't mean we mock someone when we point something out. Joe Rogan, he had you on on his show, Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan pointed out, just tore you apart very politely and pointed out how twisted and how inaccurate your video was when talking about some comedian who committed suicide, I believe it was, Robin Williams, if I'm not mistaken. And he was very polite and very respectful, but he made you look like a fool or foolish when he pointed out how twisted your video was from the reality of the grand scheme of things, how much you took Robin Williams' death out of context. He didn't have to mock you and come up with, what a little whiny voice, oh, you're such a pansy, Stefan. No, he actually just let you do your own speaking. He asked you questions. He tore you apart politely like you did to the gentleman in the first 30 minutes of the debate. After that, the gentleman says, hey man, after you talk to the dude disrespectfully, Derek comes at you and says, hey man, I don't appreciate you talking to me like a child. And your response is, oh, well, if you don't want me to talk to you like a child, do something about it. Prove to me that you're not a child. What is this, a dick measuring contest, Stefan? What, are you trying to truly appeal? I mean, what is this, an egotistical, oh, I'm now 13. You want to tell me I'm not a kid? I'm going to tell you I'm a kid. Come on. Dude. Now, when I made my response to you on your page, that got a tremendous amount of likes, which means nothing. But my point is that my comment to you was that this is an absurd argument. When you're going after some dude and talking to him condescendingly, that's not respectful. That's not whatever. It doesn't draw followers to you. It doesn't draw viewers to you. And in fact, it makes me go, well, what the heck are you trying to hide? Why is it that you can't have a civil conversation to you? The young gentleman wasn't doing that to you. But it gets worse. You go, oh, this dick measuring contest, this isn't bad. Well, shoot, you know what? I'm going to change the subject and I'm going to ramrod right over you. Derek, I know you're trying to call into my show, and I let people come to the front of the line because, I'm such a nice gentleman. But, once you call into my show, I'm going to tell you what to talk about. You literally pretend and act like Derek is taking over your show. How? Are you so insecure all of a sudden that you're worried about Derek taking over your show? Is he going to ask a question you can't answer? Now, Stefan, I don't think that he is actually going to ask a question that you can't answer and that you can't answer directly. I think you are a very smart man, and I think you are fully capable of answering directly. But this dick measuring contest that you got on your show, and how you got all up in arms, and how you had to call this guy out and treat him like a child, is pathetic. It is childish. And the fact that you defended it is even more absurd. Is that how we're supposed to treat people? Hey, you're a Democrat? Oh, yeah, I'm a little whiny Democrat. You think that's going to draw people to our side? You think people actually want to listen to reason and evidence when we treat them like children if we don't agree with them? If somebody asks a question on our show and it's not the question we want them to ask, if we scream at them and say, this is my show, this is my flipping show, yeah, I'm running my show the way I want to run my show. Do you think we're actually going to be drawing people, critical thinkers, to our show? Or are we just going to turn into the Alex Jones channel? A bunch of yelling, screaming, and running our idea down people's throats. Who cares about reason and evidence? No. It's absurd. And I will not support it, and I will not defend it. Now, when I make my little comment on your profile, and you don't like it because it doesn't have enough facts in it, or it's not an argument because I'm just pointing out what's going on, I'm sorry, but you don't want me to put this flipping 17-paragraph post on your YouTube channel. Sometimes, like Donald Trump, you have to be able to be concise and actually make a point, which is exactly what I did. He politely points out that he was trying to call into your show and ask you questions. What is the point of having a call-in show and bragging about how you allow people who disagree with you go to the front of the line if you are going to ramrod them and tell them what questions they can ask or tell them what they're going to talk about? Don't brag about how you put people who disagree with you at the front of the line if you're going to run them over. Yes, I understand. Most of the time you don't do that. I thought this was just going to be some mistake. Oh, Stefan's having a bad day. Oh, Stefan, he's just super grouchy that day. Oh, Stefan's going to say, hey, you know what? It wasn't the best debate. I really wasn't on point. I'm grouchy. My wife's not doing so hot. Whatever. I don't care. We all have bad days. But the fact that then you not only don't do that, you double down. When people like myself, and there were multiple people that point out how foolish you looked, how childish you looked, how rude you looked, how disrespectful you looked. You don't go, hey guys, maybe I should have learned from something. Oh, no, let's not use logic and reason. No, let's not worry about evidence. No, Stefan, I understand. Let's just run us over. Oh, that's not a logical debate. That's not an argument. Yes, it is. When you are being disrespectful to people, you don't come across as educated. You're not going to get people to our side. We're not going to bring people to our side when you're going to mock every single person that comes onto your show, or even a person that comes onto your show. If that's what they see, they're going to go, who the heck is going to listen to this guy? He's some childish punk that has to get into a dick measuring contest because he's having an off day. Except they won't know it's an off day. They'll think it's normal. Maybe it is. Is that what this is? Stefan, you're just getting enough viewers that, it goes to my head. I'm going to run my show however I want. I'm going to be disrespectful. Yeah, I'm making lots of money now. Woohoo! Now that I'm making lots of money, people are starting to send me lots of money. I'm getting all these views, 100 million views this year. Yeah, I am so great. Is that what it's coming down to? You see, I don't think it is. But that's exactly what you're coming across as. And people like myself who watch you daily and respect you and truly appreciate your factual information and how you put things into perspective, We do not respect when you treat others disrespectfully, especially when they do not deserve it. You then use, in your defense, you're trying to defend yourself. Oh, well, he had some massive advantage because he came onto my show and he didn't give me the links. He had done his research and I was behind the 8 ball. Please. This is such a lame argument. Okay, so just to try to create some hypothetical here. That's kind of like saying, first of all, you, Stefan, you are some trained professional UFC fighter. You have been training for years and years and years and years. How many years have you been doing your channel? Over 10 years? How many views? How many debates have you been in? How many times have you talked publicly? Hundreds, thousands. You've done a ton of this. So you are a pro. It's like you being some professional fighter and some new guy was already in the gym. He was working out for the first, second, third, fifth. Maybe Derek's actually debated 5 times in his life publicly. Who knows? Chances are it's very, very few. And then you walk in and say, oh, shoot. Oh, this guy has some huge advantage on me. No. He's already warming up. He's already hitting the boxing bag. He's warmed up. He's going to kick my butt. Bro, get over it. You have way more experience than most people. You are a far better debater than most people. You can use logic and reasoning far better than most people. You do not need to use that as an excuse for your behavior. That is not an excuse. That is not a way you can justify acting like a child or getting into some dick measuring contest when he never threatened your channel, when he never tried to take over your channel, when all he was trying to do was ask questions. You're like, no. This is the question I'm going to ask you. This is my flipping show. This is my bleeping show. Let me raise my voice on you, even though you haven't done that to me. You then complain that the man didn't provide information to you. He didn't provide links for your debate. Okay. Well, first of all, maybe he should have. But you're the one that took him. You're the one that allowed him on your show. So there's no one to blame but yourself. You can't go and say, oh, well, the guy didn't give me links, therefore I have the right to yell at him. Therefore I have the right to scream at him. Therefore I have the right to mock him. Therefore I have the right to yell at him that he's taking over my show. No, Stefan, that is not the way it works. You're a big boy. You have your own show. You chose to have a guy on your show that didn't give you the links on the topics you were going to talk about. You're probably thinking to yourself, you know what? I'm a really smart guy. I'm a really wise guy. I can debate this guy, no problem. And you could have. But instead, you turned it into a yelling contest or a childish name-calling contest, which was pathetic. And then finally, to justify the whole entire thing, you try to say, you know what? When somebody strikes a low blow, you've got to go lower. You don't allow somebody to hit low blows on you. You got to defend yourself. And that's how you justified your pathetic response on your video. Stefan, the first person that threw a low blow was you. The second person that threw a low blow was you. The third person that threw a low blow was you. He had pathetic arguments, and you debunked him and proved him wrong. When he tried to move on to the next argument, you started throwing low blows. You had already won the first 5 rounds in the fight. And then you said, you know what? That's not enough. I got to start throwing low blows. You're probably not going to listen to this. I hope you do, though. I hope you understand that I am saying this from a respectful point of view. I am saying this from someone who wants to listen to you as much as possible down the road. But if this starts becoming a trend, and the fact that you're defending yourself makes me very nervous that it may be, you're not only going to start losing viewers, you're going to start losing power. And we need people like you, Stefan. We need people out there like you who will go out there and point out the truth, point out the facts, use reason, use evidence, and keep things in context. We need that. This dick measuring version of Stefan that needs to yell and swear over people and act like people are taking over their show, that's not what we need in this world. We got enough Alex Joneses out there. We got enough Sean Hannitys out there. We need people who actually use reason and evidence. I want that to be you. I'm starting my channel. I'm a nobody. Hopefully maybe down the road I can take you over and be able to influence people and help people think logically. But my goal is to be able to do that in 10 years. We need people like you to be thinking logically and reasoning and putting on a good show for everyone to be able to look up to. People like me, we're not big enough yet. I'm hardly a peon. On the grand scheme of things, I'm a nobody. We need people like you, Stefan, to stand your ground and to have morals and to have values and to be able to debate people without degrading them. Now, yes, there are times, but not when you're the one that starts the low blows. We all want you to defend yourself. When somebody starts calling you an effing retard or whatever, yeah, treat them like crap. When they start when you start heading them off and you point them out, hey man, you're being factually inaccurate, and they won't answer that, they won't defend that, they won't admit that they're screwing up, yeah, get after them. But when you are the one that starts all that crap, you lose the argument. You won all the argument with reason, logic, and everything else, but because you turned into a child, you lost. Because you had to start name calling, because you had to start pretending he was taking over your show, you lost. Any reasonable person listening to that goes, what the heck is wrong with Stefan? We don't want that side of you. Most of us want to have a logical, reason, thinking Stefan Molyneux. We want your show, man. So I don't say this to attack you. I say this to build you up. But I don't know what's going on, man. The fact that you're defending yourself scares me. Hopefully you'll listen to this and go, okay, it's time to change. I'm willing to debate you. You might kick my butt. Who cares? You probably will kick my butt. You've debated way more people. In fact, you've debated 100 times more people than me. I've never been in a public debate in my life. Winning a debate is not everything. Focusing on truth is everything. Focusing on reality and bringing us together so we can fix things in our country. And mocking people that do not deserve to be mocked is not fixing everything. That is dividing. That is all I have. Guys, obviously, I don't do videos like this very often. In fact, this is the first one I've ever done. But my point, whenever I do my videos, is to always hold ourselves accountable. When we see Republicans screwing up, we have no accountability. We have no credibility. If we are attacking Democrats while ignoring our own party. If we're attacking Republicans, but we're ignoring Democrats. When we look at George W. Bush and how he was practically everything the Republicans supposedly stood against. Where were the Republicans that were going after George W. Bush? I admit I was one of them. I was all over supporting the Iraq War. I screwed up. I was young. I was immature. I was stupid. I didn't care about anything other than, yeah, they blew up 17 resolutions. We need to go and attack them. But if we can't hold our own side accountable, who are we to go and say, oh, the Democrats, they're spending a bunch of money. The Democrats, they're expanding the size of government. Yeah, well, so what, buddy? We know that you'll support expanding the size of government as soon as your party's in office, and that's what's happening right now with Republicans. We need to hold our own people accountable. I absolutely spend the majority of my time on pages and dealing with people that disagree with me. But I will hold you as a friend accountable, just like I will hold an enemy accountable. Stefan Molyneux has 100 million viewers or downloads on his page from last year. That's how much traffic he had. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you, Stefan. But I will not just cower over and say, oh, you know what? Just because I like most of what this guy does, just because I agree with most of everything he does, I'm just going to let this go under the bridge. No, absolutely not. I was hoping it was just going to be one message, everything was going to be good. But then he defended himself. Yes, I will get in your face. I have a girlfriend I've been debating today who does not like me on her channel because I don't agree with her. And she doesn't want my opinions on her channel. Guys, we have to hold our own side accountable. We have to defend our own line. Because what's the point of saying, oh, these guys are these guys are pro-war, when so are you? Who's going to listen to you? If you cry and wolf all the time, you have no credibility. And we are not going to be able to get people on our own side. We are not going to be able to fix our country if we are complete hypocrites. Talking about spending, but then spending. Talking about being anti-war, but then being pro-war. Talking about how we're anti all these government programs, and then jumping on all the government programs ourselves. That is hypocritical. People see that, and they go, oh, I'm not going to listen to that. Who are you? Live our own life credibly. Hold our own side credible. And then go to the other side. And then debate them. No, we will not be perfect. Yes, we will screw up. But unless you have credibility, look at WikiLeaks and look at how, the perfect example for me, look at WikiLeaks. Look at how they have never posted something inaccurate. Look at in the 10 years of their organization, they have never been found as publishing anything inaccurate or false. And then we have all of these other intelligence agencies in our own government, the CIA, the FBI, oh, Clinton. She was hacked. The Russians, they hacked her. But because WikiLeaks has credibility, people, a very high percentage of people go, you know what? This Russia thing sounds like a bunch of BS. Yes, we have every single stinking CIA and intelligence agency saying that Russia did it. But we have WikiLeaks who says they didn't. Who are we supposed to listen to? Someone that's credible or not? Let's be credible. Stefan Molyneux is mostly credible. I have a lot of respect for that man, but I will hold him accountable, and I beg you guys and I plead with you guys to hold me accountable. Whenever I screw up, please point it out. I will not attack you. I may not agree, but I will not attack you. That is all I have. If you guys want more videos like this, please give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the notification button. That'd be absolutely awesome. If you guys hate this video, please give me a thumbs down. Tell me why. I can handle it. And I won't attack you. I won't call you names. I won't mock you. I may disagree. Let's debate. Let's have a healthy debate. Let's fix our country. Let's fix ourselves. Let's be responsible ourselves. That's all I've got, guys. Peace out. Have a great day.